I want to explain a little further why I don't believe in non-binary. The reason why I even talk about this is that you see non-binary activists, they want to change the Western culture. They want to make non-binary a part of our culture. And as a transsexual, I don't really approve. The whole point of being transgender is that your biological sex makes you so uncomfortable that you transition to the opposite. You're not only transitioning to the opposite gender, you just want to fit into society. And that's not a bad thing. Transgender people, they are discreet. They are just trying to live a normal life. But non-binary activists, they want to change that. Keep in mind, trans people and people who claim to be trans, they are a minority. Yet we take so much space when it comes to politics and the media. I don't get it. I've been trying to keep an open mind when it comes to the non-binary ideology. Yet, I've been identifying as genderqueer at some point when I was younger, so believe me, I'm not close-minded. I have given the ideology a chance, but enough is enough. As a transsexual, I'm very triggered every single time these people are in the media and so on. I'm triggered when people are DMing me that they think I'm one of them, because I'm not. I know I look like an SJW, I got the glasses, I got the look, I know, but I'm not one of them. Here's some practical reasons why I don't believe in non-binary. First of all, when you hear about non-binary and the definition of being non-binary, they say that if you challenge gender roles and gender expectations, if that's true, I think everyone is non-binary. I think it's rare that we see people who are perfectly masculine and perfectly feminine and have a mindset of someone who is living in the 50s. And if that statement were to be true, non-binary people, they're actually defining other people's identity. And that is bigoted. The second thing, dysphoria. Non-binary people, they don't experience dysphoria. I don't care about the backlash I'm going to get on this one, but if you don't experience gender dysphoria, you're cis. Gender dysphoria is one of the worst things you can ever put a human through, in my opinion. And if you fake having that, I think you're suffering from something else. Sorry, not sorry. I'm coming off a little harsh, but how do you think I feel whenever non-binary people, they are in the media, controlling the trans identity? Whenever someone claims to be trans when they're not, how do you think I feel? Another thing I want to talk about is pronouns. Whenever people use the wrong pronouns, when it comes to me, I get really dysphoric. I can't control it. I mean, it's an honest mistake, I understand. But my brain, I react emotionally before rationally, and I can't help it. Even though I don't blame you personally for making a mistake, my brain is not loving it. That's why when non-binary people, they are upset about people using the wrong pronouns, they can actually control that feeling. It's just like if people are calling me a bitch, too skinny, too ugly, whatever, I can actually control my reaction. Of course, it's rude and I'll be offended, but I can actually control that feeling. Sexuality. I have explained before that you can't really be gay or straight and being non-binary because being gay or a lesbian, that requires you to be a man or a woman, so you can't be gay as a non-binary person. And straight. You can imagine. So it doesn't really make sense to me to be non-binary because how can a person not have a sexuality? That's weird, right? If a non-binary person is gay, the person is only attracted to other non-binary people. Is that how it works? Another thing I want to talk about is that people criticize me and say, well, what about gender therapists? They are aware of non-binary. They think that non-binary is real. Well, I just disagree with them. I think the PC culture is taking over our education system, and I think that future therapists, they are taught these kind of things so they seem more inclusive and diverse. Just because something is written down and it's in the system doesn't mean that you necessarily have to agree with it. According to the Danish system, you can be accused of racism if you're homophobic. It says in the paper that's how it works. But does it make sense and do I agree with it? No. The last thing I want to talk about is that I know I seem mean, I come off as mean when I talk about the non-binary ideology, But I don't care. I'm tired that the PC culture is taking over right now. And I feel like as a trans person, I have a little bit of privilege to talk about this. I don't attack people who are not in the public, who are not outspoken. Whatever you do behind closed doors is your own business. But as soon as you come forward and you take a lot of room in the media and so on, I'm gonna say something. And I also want people who are identifying as non-binary to take a step back and be like, is this really who I am? Does this really make sense? I'm trans, but I don't owe the non-binary movement anything. I'm a free thinker, I'm independent, and I'm trying to gather people in the middle to get a mutual understanding. I would love some feedback, even though I know I'm going to get a lot of hate. I don't care. Come at me.